Welcome to the PreSnap Podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Somerville here with Tyler Weeman, ready to break down Thursday Night Football, our NFL kickoff for Week 1. The season is upon us.
It is here. Let's go.
We'll be breaking down the game for daily fantasy. We also have your prop bets for you and our game picks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that touchdown call as well. Thank you, Tyler. So this Thursday night matchup, first of all, good to be back talking sports. And if you're watching us on YouTube right now, be sure to like, subscribe, and even sign up for notifications because we have so many videos coming out lately. You've got to keep up with all our content, including our Prop Edge show, which gives the best props for both Underdog and PrizePicks. Check those out. And yeah, so we got a lot coming out. Also, one more note, linestarapp.com. Go check it out and sign up for your LineStar subscription right now. The price currently $19.99 a month. That will go up in a matter of hours, days. So do that right now. $19.99. It will go up to $29.99. So lock it in at that price.
You should probably pause the video and go sign up now because that's how quick
immediately, exactly. We want you to save $10 a month. All right, so Thursday Night Football featuring the defending Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams, hosting the Buffalo Bills, the 2023 Super Bowl favorites, whose season ended in absolute heartbreak last year in the AFC divisional playoff game against the Chiefs. Quite the game we've got for NFL kickoff. What do you think, Tyler?
It is going to be a fun one. I'm excited. Both these teams are great.
It's going to be a good one. Way to kick off the season.
It is a good way.
So we're going to start off talking a little bit about the injuries. There are some players who are a little bit banged up. We'll go over that, and then we'll go over by position, basically who we have projected to have really good games in this one. It'll help you out in daily fantasy. We'll also have your prop bets later in the show. So first, we're going to talk about some injuries, who's in, who's out, who's not great in terms of their six score, which we're using from Pro Football Doc. He's giving all the six scores. You can check that out at sixscore.com. Gives you all the analysis for all the sports injuries. So if you're concerned about a particular guy, you can go there, get some more information on that. And it also has specific matchups. So, one defensive line's health versus, the O-line of the other team. Yeah. That sort of thing can really be helpful.
As the season goes on and there are some more injuries that pile up, that diagram is really helpful.
We also have that six score on linestarapp.com as well. Matthew Stafford had a bit of an elbow injury
to the Bulldog.
His six score is 93. Now, McVay previously described it as abnormal for a quarterback, which made people a little bit nervous, thinking, oh my gosh, is this guy going to need Tommy John surgery? Yeah. What's the deal? Well, now he claims he's all good to go. He was asked if he trusted Stafford to throw more than 50 passes to win a game, and his answer was no hesitation. So it seems like McVay is all in on Stafford, although I don't know that he would say if he was concerned.
The rumor mill on this was interesting. It went to Tommy John, went all over the place, but comes down to doesn't seem like it's a big deal. I actually just watched a video of Pro Football Doc talking about this, and he said there's no worry whatsoever, and he'll throw over 55 balls in practice, so why wouldn't he in a game?
Fair enough. Let's talk about one of those guys he's thrown to in Tyler Higbee, who's got a six score of 93. Now, he was forced to sit out of the Super Bowl, you might remember, due to a sprained MCL. He underwent surgery this offseason, so anytime any player goes, under the knife, there are, a little bit of concerns heading into the season. However, it seems like he's going to be good to go, and they definitely need him to be.
Yeah, he's a big help, especially with the next guy we're about to talk to being out.
Van Jefferson is officially out of this game. He underwent knee surgery this summer. His six score at 74. It's not that surprising considering he's been no participation in practice the past few days. So this was somewhat expected. However, still a big blow to the Rams offense.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. He is a returning member, so that is always a bummer when you're missing one of those guys. And it's going to lead us to further down on the depth chart for the Rams.
All right. Next up on our injury report list here is Cam Akers, who has a score of 90. He overcame an Achilles injury to return for the Super Bowl run. Did not look as explosive as 2020. He has told reporters he's fully healthy. I don't know what else they would say if they were unhealthy.
I am pretty sure he also said that at the end of last year that he's fully healthy, but he absolutely did not have that burst. We do have a lot more time now, so you may have got some of that burst back. The one thing I would say is they used him a ton at the end of the last year, but Henderson was beat up, and Henderson is a little more healthy now.
So speaking of Henderson, he did miss some time with a similar issue. Injury kept him out of 3 postseason games. Yes. Like you mentioned, he had just 3 carries in the Super Bowl. So as we're looking at this running backs unit, definitely one that has been a little banged up over the course of the end of last season through this summer. In fact, the rookie running back, Kyren Williams, missed time with a broken foot. It'll be interesting to see how they play that in terms of how many carries each one gets.
Absolutely. And I would expect Williams to get very few. The one thing, it's always a little scary with a rookie because pass protection is a very big deal. And if they're missing training camp and missing, that coaching, I wouldn't expect him to get a ton of time because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, especially with Cam Akers, if he is in fact fully healthy, I gotta think.
Yeah. Henderson did really well for him. I think this is going to be a little bit of a committee situation with Akers a little more than Henderson, maybe 55, 45, something like that.
How about Isaiah Mckenzie? Finally, we're talking about a guy on the other team. It's been all
Bills.
Rams. Groin injury. Full participant, though, in practice Monday, Tuesday. McDermott says he's good to go. Do you believe him?
I'm sure he's probably good to go.
All right. Yeah. So there
we'll
you heard
see.
it.
He's been practicing. So
I always worry about groin injuries, though, because that's an injury that tends to linger.
Yes, and you can re-injure it too. So
keep an eye on it. So those are your injuries. Remember, for more information on the injuries and health of a player throughout the season, check out sixscore.com. Now let's go through our daily fantasy projections from linestarapp.com. We'll go by position here. We'll start off with quarterback. We got Josh Allen and Matt Stafford, 2 gunslingers going at it. Love this.
Yeah, it's a great matchup for both of them.
Josh Allen is, I believe he's an MVP, Super Bowl MVP, front runner, just the whole works. He's definitely a favorite in a lot of sports betting categories. Today, or Thursday, he is the highest projected quarterback for LineStar. He's got a 1.5 alert score and still is the highest projected on LineStar today. He does have a higher safety score, a higher ceiling, and also a higher price tag.
Yeah, and part of that, too, is that he does have the rushing upside.
Right.
So it raises that floor a little bit. The Rams are a tough defense, but Josh Allen is one of the best in the game. Not that Stafford is bad, but
from a fantasy perspective.
Exactly. And anytime you have a game total of 52, you got to be looking at the quarterbacks. Both of them are in a good situation.
Matt Stafford has a 4-star alert score. Some stats on the Buffalo defense. Okay, we know the Buffalo defense is awesome. Okay, they are one of the best in the NFL. Their defense, though, allows 44% more pass attempts when away. Buffalo defense also allows 36% more fantasy points to quarterbacks when away, which is also an interesting thing now. They do have a guy named Von Miller now.
Yep.
So
going against the team he won the Super Bowl with.
That's an interesting storyline. So basically a home game for him.
Yeah, right.
All right. So those are our 2 quarterbacks, 2 great options there. Are you leaning one way or the other given the high price tag on Josh Allen?
With the price tag, I kind of lean towards Stafford, but you can't go wrong with either one of them. With the price tag of Allen, I might rather get to Kupp on DraftKings. On FanDuel, probably Allen.
All right. Let's take a look at our running back. Highest projected there is Devin Singletary. He's the highest projected running back, and he's got a 3.5-star alert score. some stats on Buffalo. They rushed 18% more when they're favored. They are the favorites in this game. I know it was kind of going a little bit back and forth over the summer when we were looking at those odds. Buffalo, the favorites in this game. The away favorites. Wow.
Yeah.
Against the defending Super Bowl champions. How often do you see that?
It is pretty wild. It's not often.
So he also rushed at least 10 times in their last 5 games. So Line Stars certainly liking Devin Singletary today, over any of the other running backs.
Yeah.
Which was a bit surprising.
I would say as a whole, the running backs in this game probably aren't going to be owned enough. The early kind of projections are all showing that they're kind of low owned. So I think, between Singletary, Henderson, and Akers, there's some reason to go to either of them. It's a high-scoring game. There should be some goal line attempts. I'm sure one of them will get an end zone.
Any reason to go James Cook? He is the top value.
He is a high value. My hesitation, a lot like Williams, he's a rookie. He excels in the passing game. We don't know anything about his pass protection yet.
Okay.
And the one thing we know is the Bills are not going to risk Josh Allen if they're not 100% certain with his pass protection.
Fair enough.
Now, he is an excellent pass catcher, so there absolutely could be some James Cook, and I would not be surprised.
Do you know why I love James Cook?
I do. Do you want to tell everybody else, though?
Go Dogs, baby. I always give my Bulldogs a little boost for everything. Daily fantasy, betting, a little bit of my blind spot, if you will.
Is that why
just bet with my heart?
So you're going Stafford over Allen, too?
Gotta go with my dogs in this one. Now let's take a look at wide receiver. Top projected, Cooper Kupp. Not really surprising, especially considering he's over $3,000 more than any other wide receiver on DraftKings. Just ridiculous. Cooper Kupp, a star.
Yeah, and like we touched on earlier with Jefferson out, there's going to be more targets that can flow to him and Robinson, some other pass catchers.
Another interesting one on Line Star in terms of value, Isaiah Mckenzie was one. Are you interested in that as a play?
Absolutely. He is going to probably be one of the highest owned value plays, but he is in a spectacular spot. Looks like he's getting the slot receiving role, which, as we know, Beasley excelled through that over the last couple of years. So if McKenzie's getting most of that work, he's in a really good spot and a fairly cheap price.
Tyler's not scared of the groin schmoin.
No, with that being said, though, I think Crowder's in a good spot, too, and going to go relatively unowned. Mm-hmm. We did have the interview with the Bills reporter a few weeks ago, and he was saying that he thinks it could be kind of a 50-50 split for that job. And if that's the case and Crowder's not being owned, I'm inclined to kind of go that way, even though he is a little more expensive.
Yeah. How about tight end? Top projected, Dawson Knox. Mm-hmm. But you've also got Tyler Higbee, too, which is also kind of an intriguing option. What do you think about the tight ends for this game? And are they worth throwing in the mix?
They are absolutely worth it. When it comes to the single game slates, it is a big deal to get the touchdowns. We know tight ends, they're the biggest guys on the field, or biggest pass catchers, and they are red zone targets. So you have to look at them. You can even look at kind of some of the secondary tight end options like Hopkins or Sweeney, just because they are likely going to be used in the red zone, and they're near minimum price, if not minimum price. And if a touchdown goes a long way at that price.
If you have him during a game where he goes off like he has before and just has like 2 or 3 touchdowns, it's happened. So that's basically winning you your contest.
Yeah, and Knox and Higbee are both absolutely capable of multiple touchdowns.
So that's your tight ends. Look at them. Now let's take a look at the defense special teams unit here. Bills, obviously, the highest projected defense. They're the best defense in the league. Rams also not too shabby on defense either, though.
No, they have stars at every level of the defense.
So which one, and are they worth putting into your lineup?
So this is the thing. We have a super high-scoring game, and when there's a high-scoring game, the defenses generally don't score as well. Now, they could, if there is, say, a pick six or fumble recovered for a touchdown, special teams touchdown. But those are really the situations you need for one of these defenses to work. Mm-hmm. We expect both of the teams, to be putting up decent points in this game. So,
with the defenses being so good, I want to say the over-under in this one was like 53.5 points, but you've got two high-powered offenses. Yeah. What do you expect in terms of total output for this game? Just out of curiosity.
I would probably say slightly under.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning.
52 is high.
It's really high.
Especially for 52. The first game when they could be a little conservative with play calling and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I
agree with that. Look, we're on the same page. I like to
see we are.
And how about kicker? I was asking you before. I'm like, are kickers even worth it? And you're like, yeah, sometimes.
Well, absolutely. In a high-scoring game, you can expect both of these kickers to likely get a couple field goal opportunities plus the extra points. So they can put up some points. They're obviously at cheaper salaries because they're kickers.
Yeah.
So it does make an interesting play on both sides.
Matt Gay's the higher projected one here.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting options there.
Yeah, but, it really comes down to, projecting a kicker is so hard because not only is it their skill, it's also you need the offense
to kind of lose a little bit, right?
Yeah, you need the offense to not be able to score in the red zone or near the red zone. And, I don't expect either of these teams to have a huge issue with red zone scoring.
Right.
So they will get their chances, and just not sure which one of them it'll be.
Okay, so that's a look at if you're playing daily fantasy for this Thursday night game, kind of a look into all of our high projected guys. Just a little bit of analysis there. For more information, make sure to check out linestarapp.com. We basically take a look, and all of the stats we're using here you can find on the Linestar app. So check that out there. Now it's time for our first touchdown calls segment of the year. Been so used to doing home run calls. Now it's time for our touchdown calls. Who is headed to the end zone?
Ooh, I like it. So during the Major League Baseball season, we have had the Tyler bump. We're going to have it again. Tyler Higbee is going to get in the end zone. Jefferson's out. There's more targets to go around. And over the last 8 weeks of the season, only Cooper Kupp outpaced Higbee with touchdowns.
Oh, you mentioned Cooper Kupp, did you? That's my touchdown call. I'm going chalk in this one all the way. Bills allowed the fewest passing touchdowns per game, but he's had 8 red zone targets the past 3 games. So even though their defense is good, I fully expect Cooper Kupp to have no issue. He faced plenty of good defenses last year and still came out on top. So the Bills' defense is good, but I am going Cooper Kupp on this one. He's got his favorite target of Matt Stafford. He's targeted over 100 more than the next receiver.
Yep.
So they're going to go to him very often.
You can't deny the Cooper Kupp end zone call.
And for our touchdown calls contest, remember you can play along with us on Twitter. If you're not following us already, follow us at Linestar app. And all you have to do is retweet the tweet about our touchdown calls and let us know who you're picking for your touchdown call, or who you want to, if you want to tail one of us, let us know, and you'll be entered in to win a cool prize. So stay tuned for that. Check us out on Twitter as well. Now it's time for our prop bets of the game. Here we go. Our first prop bets.
You want to kick it off?
A game. You go.
All right. We are going with Shannon's touchdown call. Going Cooper Kupp over 85.5 receiving yards. This is minus 105 on the sports books, and this number is just way too low. He hit this in 9 of 10 of his last 10 games. He's averaged 120 yards over his last 5, 85.5. His just kind of disrespectful.
I mean, he's my touchdown guy, so I fully agree with that.
So we're saying 86 yards and a touchdown here.
Let's do it.
Pre-snap. I love it.
All right. I'm going with a little plus money prop for you. Devin Singletary over 2.5 receptions. Our projection on Line Star is 3. The Rams allow 5 receptions per game to running backs. Over the last 4 games of the season, he averaged 5.5 receptions per game. I think he hits that in this one. So plus money for you. I like this bet.
I like some plus money.
Love when we have a little edge in our props. Our projection says 3, so I trust Line Star. It's done me right in the past, so we'll go there. Remember, we also have our props. You got to check out our props show, Props Edge. We also break down props for PrizePicks and Underdog specific to those. We'll give out the top 5 props for each of those apps, so definitely check those out on our YouTube page. And if you aren't already, like this video, subscribe to our channel, keep up with all the video content that we've got coming out. And later this week, we will break down your Sunday games. It's going to be a fun one. First weekend of NFL action. All right. But before we go, we got to give our game picks. All right. So let's end off on who you're picking for today. For Thursday night.
The Los Angeles Rams are going to end week 1 with a record of 1-0. I got the Rams winning. The Bills have not been that good on the road, and the furthest they traveled all year last year was to Florida, Tampa Bay, and Jacksonville. It's only 1,000 miles. They're now going across the country against a team and a coach who is very good to start the seasons, and I think they might have a tough time.
Rams. We like the Rams today. The reigning Super Bowl champs have hosted Thursday night kickoff games since 2004. In that time, the reigning Super Bowl champs have gone 14-2. Sean McVay, 5-0 all time in week 1. However, this is the first time that they will be the underdogs. They were the underdog, though, 3 games last season, and guess what? They were 3-0 in those games. Tyler, that's why they were the Super Bowl champions, and that's why I am rocking the Rams shirt today.
You're going to throw out a Go Dogs now, too?
Yes, that's where I was headed. Yes, we also like the fact that they got some dogs. You weren't, I was doing the Georgia chant. We got to teach you that one of these days. The official Georgia, cheer, so that you can partake in it.
Somebody's got to do it.
All right, that's going to do it for our Thursday night preview. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment below, and check out linestarapp.com. Link to that is below. We will see you guys next time.
Have a good one, guys. Good luck on the Thursday night game.